You meet somebody, they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. Just watching TV like that.
He slept through
He called me the next day. He's like, that was fun. He goes, I went to CVS at 4 in the morning.
Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz experience.
I was never a fast kid.
Okay.
I was quick. But in long distance, you would catch me.
Okay.
All right? So when the marketing tool behind PFIs was they make you jump higher, and they'd show a kid like jumping a fence without touching it. And then they'd show
my
like
brother Charlie.
then they'd show like a Puerto Rican kid getting chased by cops in front of the Puerto Ricans, like going woof and giving up. PF flies that make you jump higher and run faster.
But the white guy got away.
So I went home and got the fucking PF fly. I begged my mother to get me the PF flies, but then I had to put them to the test.
Okay.
So how did you put them to the test? You tortured the Hasidic Jew on the block. His name was Mr. Martini.
He would chase you?
Chases for blocks. Chases for blocks.
In all that clothing?
In the black suit with the whatever. Dog,
his curls are flat. He's
he
like
didn't have
pissed.
that. He didn't have that.
Okay.
He only had like a little curl and he wore the thing. He was the typical slumlord, like what they call a slumlord today. He lived 3 houses. He owned 3 houses that were next to each other, but he lived in the basement of the middle one. So you weren't even allowed. There were metal bars with those spears sticking out.
Yeah.
Like little chings like that. And like we would play games. You weren't even allowed to talk in front of his house.
Oh, I hate people like that.
So he would come
we had a lot
of
of those.
He would come out and go, hey, go down the fucking block if you guys want to talk. So the first time he did that to me, even at that age, I was like, you don't own this file. Like, I was Cuban. I was trying to be American. I thought I knew all the American rules. It's a free country.
Yeah.
So I told the guy.
You got to use that every time.
I told the guy right off the bat, I go, it's a free country, pal. He goes, it ain't fucking free, you spick motherfucker. Go down the fucking block. So I'm like, spick motherfucker, really? Free? Okay. So I got me and my little dirty guys, and we just started on the slow torture chamber. Eggs to his building.
Eggs. We egged everybody.
Toilet paper. If we killed a rat, we'd fucking throw the rat in the fucking thing. And then he'd come up with the rat in his hand and go, one of these days I'm going to catch one of you little motherfuckers, and I'm going to eat you for lunch and all this shit. And he was tough. But Mr. Martini was a reputation that Mr. Martini caught you, he'd fuck you to death and then kill you. So all the kids, you were scared of Mr. Martini. Of course. So we would set him up with traps. We would fuck with him with traps. Oh, yeah, like if he passed it past the corner, you throw a fucking stick at him. I mean, we had Mr. Martini tortured.
That's great.
And then other kids from the block would come on, and I would make them go in front of Mr. Martini's house. It was
like a dare, yeah.
I would go, let's go play stoop ball in front of Mr. Martini's house. That's when you slam the ball off the stairs.
Stoop ball, step ball?
Oh, must say that.
No, stoop ball is when you hit the ball off the stairs that
step
bounces out, and you have to catch it for a single or double. So we would play stoop ball, and he would lose his fucking mind. He would come out and say, what did I just tell you, little motherfuckers? So my mother had a legua, and this other thing. A legua is the thing that you put by the door, and you're supposed to put candies in it and silver coins and pennies.
Is it for like luck or something?
For luck. So I would take a handful of the change, and in those days, those little poor white kids, they'd kill a motherfucker for a quarter. Because it was a soda for a quarter, they'd kill a motherfucker. So I would tell them, come here, guys, you guys want to make a quarter? And they would go, yeah. And I would throw the quarter into Mr. Martini's basement, and they would know that you weren't allowed, and they would jump the fence. Then Mr. Martini would come out at him with a stick and shit.
With their PF fangs on or whatever the
You don't know how many kids would come back to me beat up.
I love
and go,
that.
you motherfucker, you trapped me. Mr. Martini
I just
beat
got
me
fucked
up,
by Mr.
and I didn't get a quarter and shit. I would just take new people and throw a quarter over there and make them jump over. And then one day, like, I tortured Mr. Martini for about 2 years. It was like a slow, in the summers, every day.
And this is in Jersey?
This was in 205 West 88th Street.
Oh, okay.
So if we were 205, he had to be like 198.
Okay.
He was on the right-hand side, and we were on the left-hand side going towards Central Park. And, dog, we would just hang across his house and say shit. So we couldn't hang in front of your house.
Right.
So now we cross the street, and that territory in front of his house on the street, we created that game that's like pool, but only you play it with like coins.
Yeah.
You play, and you have to go through circles. Number 1, number 2, number 3,
I forgot the
4,
name of that.
Number 5. And what you
Dead
did
box.
was you removed the circle
Dead
thing
box.
from the chair. Dead box. And he didn't like that either. And then there was one day in the summer where the trees would get refilled with dirt balls.
Shit balls?
No, dirt balls. So it would be balls that were just made of dirt.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just dirt that was compressed, and they would plant new trees and put those dirt balls around. Listen, you could throw them at people, and they'd just blow up. It would just be dirt when you got hit with it.
That's amazing.
On that day, it was Mr. Martini Day. Like, you know how you have, like, National Donut Day?
Yeah.
National Secretary's Day. Whenever those trees got filled up, you knew to go outside that you were going to bombard Mr. Martini at some point of the day.
That's amazing.
So we started bombarding him with the fucking dirt balls at first, little by little, pa 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 pa, and we'd run away and he'd chase us. And then one winter, I remember hitting him with like a Kennedy assassination of snowballs. Like 4 of us got together and he got hit with snowballs from every fucking direction. But I had my PF flyers on. I knew I could get away with them.
Yeah, you're fast.
I ran this motherfucker all the way to Spanish Harlem, 88th Street.
Holy shit.
Down to Broadway, and then after like maybe 90th Street, we just started walking, and it was getting dark out. Like this is how.
So he's still following you.
This is how long the jaunt
Holy
was.
shit.
We started torturing him when it was daylight,
Yeah.
and we ran so far and so long that when we were coming back on Broadway, it was already starting to get dark. I'll never forget this.
Yeah.
And it was Christmas time.
And these kids think playing Fortnite's fun.
It had to be like 8 of us or 7 of us that eluded Mr. Martini. And at that time, we weren't giving each other high fives. We were just walking back going, fuck him. We got him. And on the corner of 88th Street, there was a photography store. And right there, some guy sold Christmas trees. I will never forget this. And we're walking. And as about we're going to make the left onto 88th Street to walk to our prospective buildings, something made me look. I saw the tree jiggle a little bit. And I looked at the tree, and I saw Mr. Martini's hand. Look at this fucking guy. Mr. Martini's hand, put his hand through the tree, opened it up. He's like, I got you. And then we all ran fucking home. Somebody was asking me a couple weeks ago, like, what was like when I look at Mercy now.
A Jew coming out of a Christmas tree has got to be frightening.
It was fucking, he was dressed in the black and he chased us. And I still remember hitting my building and running up the stairs. I didn't even have time to take the elevator.
You probably didn't even touch a stair.
And I didn't stop at 3 because I knew that there was another staircase on the other side of the. So every floor had two staircases. So I ran them up to like the 6th floor. Then I hit the staircase and got up at 3 and went to my house unsafe, and he never fucked with me again. But that day I knew Mr. Martini was going to kill one of us. Like I knew it eventually he was going to snap.
If you kept poking this bear.
Weren't you like 6 or 5?
6.
7. But that was what you did back in the day. You stayed out all.
Stop looking for, okay, here, there's the next drug deal, there's the next, oh, I could steal that, and then I can make it, like to turn that off, that mechanism off in your brain. Just because you've worked that muscle the same way you work jujitsu.
Okay, when I got the longest yard, even at that point, if you come to me and say, I need an 8-ball, I'd sell it to you. You want me to bullshit you and tell you how I went drug? No. In 2004, if you came to me and said, I need to buy a 1/4 ounce of Coke, and I knew you, I got to take it to my brother. He's visiting out here from Boston. And the guy he worked for wants a 1/2 ounce of Coke. Oh, in a heartbeat. That's 200 in my pocket and a gram of blow. Why wouldn't? That's 3 bills for just taking a ride. But when I stopped doing Coke, it was the funniest thing. 3 months later, people were coming to me with cash. Like, people always thought I was what's that word?
Shady.
Shady. So they would always like, I'll give you half now and half when you come back, that type of shit. Or, you know, it was always one of those things. When I stopped doing Coke, 90 days later, I'll never forget one day sitting in the park lot at the Comedy Store. I went there to do comedy, obviously. And somebody came up to me, somebody I know well for a long time. And in their hand, they probably had $1,000. And they said to me, can you get me this much Coke the next 3 days? I have relatives in town. 10 years ago, I would have taken that fucking money, told them to meet them there tomorrow at 6, and next thing you know, I would have had a sudden gig in Pittsburgh, and I would give them the money in a week, and I no blow. That's the type of guy I was. I give you the money back, but there was going to be a couple days where I disappeared. I don't know what happened. My phone got lost. The pager got swallowed by the parrot. You know, I was one of those dudes. You got your money. I always gave everybody their money back. You know, or I give them the Coke back and take a big chunk of Coke out of it, and they call me and go, Joey, what is this? Oh, that's the way the guy gave it to me. Well, I got to give it back to the guy. I can't give it back to the guy. The guy went back to Vegas. If you want, we'll drive to Vegas. Now the kid's stuck with it. I would do something shitty that way.
Would it stress you out when people were like, where's my money? Where's my Coke? Like,
look at me. Do I look stressed out?
No.
No. Towards the end, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck for a long time. Like, after I got divorced, I told you, I bumped into that dude that gave me the 2 pounds for the $8,000 that time. And I had another guy that gave me membership for the mafia. He gave me money, and I signed him up to that. I gave him an application, and I told him where to mail it. I mean, this is the dumbest thing ever. You know, that kid was calling me till about 5 years ago. Hey, I live in San Jose. I never heard from those people, but I did give you $2,000. I don't know what happened. Listen, meet me. I'll call you when I get to San Jose. And I'd never call him. That's how crazy I was. I used to hang out with this dude, Mike Ronnie. And I learned, when my mother died, I started hanging out with him like in 1980. And from 80 to 83, it was an education. Because he really didn't give a fuck. He would walk behind the store, take cigarettes, and walk out of the store right in front of you. It was our friend's store.
And not look back, not
even acknowledge him. And my friend pulled me over and his brother and said, bro, what's up with Mike Ronnie? He just comes in here, takes cigarettes, and walks out. There's some people in life that don't fucking give a fuck.
I'm so jealous of that.
I'll never forget him betting with a bookie, losing, and saying, fuck that guy. And the guy saying, come on, I'm going to beat you up. Come over here and beat me up. Fuck you and your fucking $300 bet. Fuck you. Fuck you. And I learned a ton from him. Because those fucks you use work from time to time. You got to tell somebody to go fuck themselves from time to time. So they work. There's a story one time. I was in Seattle. I was living in an office above Josh Wolf's bar. Josh Wolf had a Lobo Loco. And this is 1996. And what I would do is I would find grapes. In those days, I had a sports betting service. I got this fucking phone company to give me credit with no deposit. They gave me an 800 number and a phone line with, I don't know how unlimited, 10 minutes, 10 cents a minute. I don't know what this company, who they came from. I've never heard from them again. This is 1996, this new cell company. Or
do you think there's like a $10,000 bill somewhere?
So I had a 1-800 number so you could call me. And then I had 2 different numbers to call out. And what I would do is, I had a guy in San Diego that had a huge sports betting company. But he only signed you for the season.
Okay.
A lot of people are like, why am I going to pay you $3,000 for the season? What if you suck the first month and I'm stuck with you? That's where I come in. He would give me your name and I'd call you and go, Lee Syatt, Pete LaBamba here. You know Pete LaBamba is not really Pete, but I don't have time right now. Pete, listen, shut the fuck up. I got your name and number from my friend. He says you want to roll for the year. I don't want to sign people for the year. The type of player I am, in 1 fucking month, you're gonna get so much money, you're not even gonna want to know me no more. But I can't. I got a lot of customers, and I'd make up some cockamamie story on how I'm gonna sign them for a month, $2,250 for the fucking month. Unlimited. If whatever I get, you get. If I get Chinese ping pong, if I get 2 fucking goldfish that are wrestling in a park in fucking Chicago, you're going to get the winner of that fucking ad. And I'd sign them for the month.
For unlimited picks?
Unlimited picks. And I'd give them 3 picks a week, tops. They'd be calling me for 7. Fuck you. 3. We're going to make money. I'm going to give you 1 on Saturday, 1 early, and then the winner of the Sunday night game of the total.
Do you have any sources, or were you just picking them for yourself?
I had some sources, but I was picking them myself. I knew some of the football players in the Seahawks, and I'd ask them creepy questions and shit.
What would you ask them? Like, who's looking good at practice?
I'd ask them, when you played against these guys, how was the defense? Did they hit hard? What do you think? You know, stupid thing. Not enough to make you bet money on it, to be honest. Is that if that's what you're asking me?
That's just like, yeah. I wouldn't even know. Every time you talk about this sports betting, I can't believe you got people to pay just for like what you think is gonna happen.
Well, at this time, yeah. But when I worked for a service, they had real information. They would have people and reps and shit like that.
Oh, really? So they would actually...
Yeah, the reason why you paid them is because when I worked for the big company I worked for, he had people.
Wow.
He had coaches and different players, and he just had people.
They had I forget what college it was for, but like 2 or 3 weeks ago, they had an assistant coach who wasn't even at the school anymore. I think it was what's the one in Texas? It's a D, whatever it is. I think like he was giving offensive game plans to other coaches. It's
crazy. And that's it. That's all you need. So I didn't know those type of people. I knew the type of people that would tell you that the quarterback's knee's fucked up. There's no injury report on it.
Oh, so if he gets hit once or twice, it's going to be bad.
You know, he's not going to be able to throw that far. Like different things that you knew that nobody else knew. And then during the game, you look like a hero.
Oh, yeah.
His knee hurt. What I tell you, his knee got... You follow me? That's the information that impresses people. He was out all night. His God forbid, somebody he knows got hit by a fucking train. His mind's not been there for the last week. That type of shit.
I know it's not available anymore, but was numbers just the easiest thing in the world? Because you didn't have to have any... It was just taking numbers. You were literally just writing numbers down.
Yeah, that's it. Numbers are still available, but it's a one-man operation. And it's got to be in ethnic neighborhoods.
Oh, you think they still do it?
Yeah, they still do it. I know for a fact they still do it. If there's numbers and people have dreams, it's a great racket. The only thing that fucked it up was, when the lottos and stuff came in. But back to the story I was telling you. So I'm living in this office. I'm probably pulling down $800 a week on this little scam I got upstairs, which ain't bad. People sending me money to a Western Union, and then I would get you to go up there, or I would pick the money up. You could only go to Western Union a few times under your name. So I would go one time, I'd pay you $100 to go with me, I'd give Josh Wolf $100 to go with me, Gavin $100 to go with me, Brody $100 to go with me, and I'd send the money to their name.
Oh, shit,
and
I didn't know
pick it up for me and just give me the money at the comedy club later. There's one right here. I knew all the Western Unions. I knew where they all were.
So is that what I never knew what Western Unions were for. I never knew anyone had to wire money.
Now you could send it to me on PayPal.
Yeah, oh, Jesus.
I don't even have to go to Western Union. Now, you want the information? Give me a PayPal account. Send me $300 right now on PayPal. That's it. That's it. So I got this guy. Here's where it gets ugly. I was making money off guys, calling them up. Like, I would be on the road, and on Sunday mornings, I'd have to get up early and call people on a dime, on a payphone with fucking quarters, because I was on the road. I didn't have my 800 number. I'd have to call people and go, hey, Pete, what's going on? Listen, Joey, I'm on the fucking road. I'm on my way to Chicago. I'm sitting in a fucking box with the owner. Like, I just bullshit.
And really, you're doing comedy and living
I'm in
nowhere?
fucking Portland, Oregon, in a fucking hotel, and I guess a woman getting beat next to me and shit, and I could smell her hair on fire, and I'm telling this guy on the phone I'm in the fucking Ritz. I got a butler. His name is Charles. He's massaging my anus, shit like that. Meanwhile, I'm in this fucking dump, and I'd say, I sent you the information. I'd have him Western Union me more money. I'd have people pick it up for me. I'd call Brody, wherever, where you at. Picked up that money. I'll see you Monday night at the fucking comedy club. And then I would dispatch my games. But anyway, I'm in a bar one night, and I start talking to this guy, and we're talking back and forth. Next time we have Josh on, he'll tell you. I think we discussed it one time. And we're talking about sports, and the guy goes, I don't have a bookmaker. I go, well, it's your lucky day. I got a bookmaker. And I did this for years. I did this with my ex-drug dealer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I used to do this all the time. I just call you up and put a bug in your ear. But with this guy, I told him I could call him bets for you, and after a few weeks, I'll introduce you to the bookmaker. This guy was the kiss of death. He was giving me $1,000 to $1,500 every week. And sometimes I wouldn't take his action. So sometimes he'd call me if I didn't like the game. I go, listen, he's at a fucking game. Fuck. I want to get, the next day he'd call me mad. God damn it, I knew I could. Then when he'd call me, and if I liked the game, in fact, he'd call me first. And if I liked, let's say, Dallas, and they were playing the, who's Dallas playing next week?
The Kansas City, are they playing Kansas City?
No. Kansas City's AFC team. Dallas is an NFC.
Let me look it up.
Dallas is playing Green Bay.
Oh, you're right.
Thank God I'm in this fucking room and you're the sports guy. Let's say Dallas is playing Green Bay next week. Dallas, I don't know if Dallas, I don't know what this, I'm just making this up. Let's say Dallas is playing Green Bay in Dallas, and Dallas is giving 4 points. I love Dallas. I would, when he called me and asked me who I liked, I'd pitch him Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Green Bay's tough. In fact, I'm gonna bet $1,000 on Green Bay myself.
Were you ever give him a winner just so he would keep doing it with you? No.
He lost for 3 weeks. He would pick a winner, but by that time he'd be down 900, and he'd win 400. He still owed me the juice and the original $50. So I was getting them every week. Finally, me and Josh are going to Moscow, Idaho. We're leaving, and I got to meet this guy. This guy was my gas money. We had no money. The plan was to meet him. We're going to go have a big hearty lunch on Uncle Joey and fill that tank up and get a bag of weed to drive, to go, like doctors. We get down there. I go to collect from the guy. The guy's like, no, I'm not giving you the money. This is like the 5th time in a row I've paid you, and I still haven't met the mob guy. And I'm like, listen, he don't want to meet nobody right now. I need this fucking loot. And we argued for 20 minutes on the street. He was yelling at me. I'm not giving it to you. I said, I'm not going to argue with you no more. Either you give me the money, or you can't put no more bets in. And by 2 weeks, you're going to get a knock on your door. And I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you what it is with these people. I did you a favor. Now you're going to do this to me? Now I got to go pay the fucking $1,200 for you? And I walked in the bar, and 3 minutes later, he came in. Okay, I'll give you the money, but next week I want to meet the guy. And that was the last bet I took from him.
Absolutely. Oh, that's when you know to take your losses.